Hi, it's time for another Janet in the studio. A while ago, I posted a video about these slider cards, which are unique ways to give gift cards or checks or whatever. And I will link the video to that below. But I needed something to hold them. And I had these little paper bags, which are okay for something like this, but they didn't really match all of the different sliders that I was making. So I found this Envelobox creator from Crafter's Companion, and I decided to give that a try and see if this would work. And I think they turned out really well. So come with me and watch how it's done. So I'm having fun making these slider cards. You can stick a gift card in here, write a little message here. And I had a couple of these little bags that were cute to put in, but then I ran out of the bags or didn't like the way they looked together. And so I wanted to try and use my new Crafter's Companion envelope box creator. And I was able to make a box like this, an envelope like this, and it fits right in. Now, I don't know if I would really mail one of these, but it's still a nice little holder to have when you're giving it as a gift. So I thought I'd make some more. And I haven't used this very often. This was the first one that I made. So one of the things that I do like about it is that the instructions or the sizing guides are nice and big. I know that you may have seen the envelope maker by We Are Memory Keepers, and you can see that the sizing guides are pretty darn small, and for an old lady like me, having them this size is really helpful. So the first thing that you want to do is measure the size of whatever it is that you want to put in your envelope box. And this is 6 by 3 1/4. But the sizing guide only goes in 1/2 inch increments. So we're going to make it 3 1/2. So we want 1/2 inch depth there. So 1/2 inch depth, and we're going to do 3 1/2 by 6. So we need a piece of paper that's 8 1/4 inches square, and then we're going to use guides D and I. So I already cut my papers to 8 1/4, and here's the guide. We're going to start with D. So here's D, and we make our score, and then we move the guide up to position number 2, and we score at D again. And that gives our 1/2 inch mark here. So now we're going to do the other side, turn it around, and do the same thing, D, and move it up, and D. And then the opposite side was I. So we're going to find I on the scoreboard and do our I, and then move it up to position 2 and do the I again, and turn it around and do I, and up to the second, and I again. And you can see that it's got our score marks here. Can you see? There you go. Okay, so now that it's all scored, you can see there is little triangles right here on each corner. So we're going to snip those little triangles out because we don't need them. So you can see the little triangles out. We're going to do that on all the angles. And then this little square right here, that's going to be part of the box. So you want to trim it on one side. So I'm going to choose this side. And that way when you're folding the box in, you'll have something to glue it on. So we're going to just trim that little edge right there and turn it around and trim the edge here and here. And now you can do your folding. On your score lines. And sometimes when it's cardstock like this, I like to fold it both ways just so that it gets the nice creases. And I think I want this side to be the inside, so I'm going to train it like that. Okay, so now take the little corner tabs and push them up. And there you have it. Now we just need to put the glue on. So the first thing that I'm going to do is glue this little bottom tab in. And just bring it up and match it and hold it. And then the other side, bring it up, match, and hold. Or if you're using paper tape or tear-off tape, you can, you don't have to do the holding part. And then the inside, I like to round this corner here. So I'm just going to stick it in my corner rounder and just give a little edge to that. And then these two parts right here, we're just going to put a little glue on the two flaps there. And sometimes it is helpful to have something to put inside of it to hold it firmer, and that makes it easier to hold. Now these, come on, get this corner correct here. And these little flaps, you don't have to glue anywhere. You can cut them off if you want to, or just leave them. And this other one that I did, I cut them off so they're not in the way. And this is why it's important to make a really good crease. You could see that this corner's not 100%, but there you go. So after doing a couple more of the envelopes, there's just a couple of tips I wanted to show you. You really need to make sure that the score lines come out straight, because I noticed on a couple of them that I tried, the envelope, the paper kind of slips a little bit if you're not holding it tightly, and then the score line is not going to come out straight. And that's the problem that I was having with that first one that I made, and the corner, it was a little bit off. So just be careful of that. And then my score tool has a thick bevel on it, and so my score lines are thick. And so when you're cutting away the triangles, make sure you cut off the score lines, because otherwise those will get in the way too. Like this one still has a little bit of a score edge to it, so I would just cut that a little bit. It's not going to take anything away from the envelope, but it's going to make it a lot easier to fold. And then I did find some just notepads, and when I put them in here, it makes it a lot easier to fold and crease and to hold it down when I'm putting on the adhesive. So I hope those tips help you.